Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regular meeting of the City of Charlestown Sanitary Sewer Board. Today is September 4th, 2025. It is 9 a.m. We'll get started with the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Let the record show this meeting is being recorded and live streamed by Underproduction Multimedia. For roll call, you can note all members are present, as well as Clerk Treasurer Donna Assumption with us today from Frost Ground Todd. We have an agenda that's been provided. Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Michael Grayson,
I'll second.
second by Nathan Grimes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That is unanimous. We have our standing business, which includes our meeting minutes from August 21st, our current claims, and our payroll allowance docket from August 17th to August 30th. Need a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Nathan Grimes makes the motion as presented.
I'll second.
Michael Grayson seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That was unanimous. Do we have anyone signed up for public comment? I don't think so. I think you guys are on the agenda. No old business or any new business. Tim Cropper will give us a operator report.
Good morning.
Morning.
I have today just a couple of informational items for the board. I'm not asking for anything, I'm not bringing bad news. The couple of things, they have broken ground on the Highway 62 lift station. They are scheduled to start putting force main in next week. Progress.
Good.
That's
Long
great.
time coming, but it is great, yes ma'am. I have also been working with the other project that we have ongoing is the wastewater treatment plant. We are scheduled to start Tuesday on startup schedule for the facility. Now, what that means is, obviously, the facility doesn't just flip a switch and start up. It will be a phased item, and it will take anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks to bring it up to speed, but that process will be starting this coming Tuesday.
Okay.
So, other than that, I mean, the utility's done well. We had no issues last night. We had about 0.6 of an inch of rain last night, which we desperately needed. Did not impact the utility whatsoever.
Great.
And unless the board has any questions, that's really all I have for you this morning.
I don't have any questions for you, but I do have an update from the council meeting last night. The council did affirm the amendment to the Highway 62 field operate transfer agreement to allow that force main, through that road
Right.
that we talked about in the addendum. That redevelopment commission will be covering the costs of that amendment. So they did approve that last night.
Great, thank you.
I don't know if you need a copy of that.
I do not, no, as long as Donna has a copy of that, I'm good with that.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then we have a visitor, Charity Mongold, is here to discuss Skipper's Ridge Sewer Services. Ms. Mongold, if you want to come forward.
Good morning, everybody.
Plus one.
Charity nominated Adam to do the speaking, unfortunately. So we're here in regards to the Skipper's Ridge development up here on 62 by the state park. I'm Adam Mongold. It's my sister Charity. Third principal is Ann Reagans. She wasn't able to make it today. So as a lot of you probably know, it has been a while, been a long time coming, as Tim put it the other day, to get this thing going. Geologic holdups, economic holdups, global pandemic holdups, but we're finally at the point now where we're kind of rolling full steam ahead. We're getting ready to finish up the infrastructure, at least the biggest parts of the infrastructure for the first couple of sections here, and tie into the sewage here for the city of Charlestown. The biggest part of that infrastructure is a pretty massive lift station that we've been out there testing. You guys probably know that. We've been testing pumps, doing pressure testing and things like that. It all seems to be operating pretty well. There's also a force main, and Tim, I believe that's actually an 8-inch force main. We were talking about 6. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's an 8-inch force main that runs from our property up about a mile to Charlestown here. So back when we first started, like I said, this thing has been a long time coming. Back when we first kind of started all this, of course there was the previous administration that we were working with at that time, and part of those early conversations was an agreement that I believe, if I understand it correctly, it's called kind of latecomer type agreement for a reimbursement for infrastructure costs. And I think these things are somewhat standard, but I'm not really sure. Of course, that was a previous administration thing. So what we're really here for today is we have some information, some details. We just want to see if there's respectfully request actually if we can continue on with that same agreement that we had from the previous administration with this one, moving forward with this lift station and our sewage treatment. So that's pretty much it, Jerry. You might have something to add, I don't know, but.
The original agreement was, since we were bringing in 335 to 350 homes plus commercial, plus opening up Highway 62 for the potential for commercial and annexation if they wanted to tap into the sewer, we would be able to collect sewer taps from the sale of the lots. We could get the sewer taps. We would turn the lift station over to the city, but we would warranty it for a year, and then the city would take over the servicing of it. And if there were any fees for that, the development would pay for those from taps, but that was our agreement going into it. It's kind of similar to State Statute 170 IAC 8.5-4.
Hold on, slow down, give that again.
Sorry. State Statute 170 IAC 8.5-4, which applies to both water and wastewater. And it's refund reimbursement to developers for significant costs. The lift station, just to let you all know, was $764,000. It was a requirement from the city, as well as the placement was required by the city. We had originally anticipated hooking to Tunnel Mill, which would have been significantly closer, and we could have split up the lift stations and had maybe 2 versus 1 massive, but that's what we were required by the city, and then they moved us to Highway 62. So that's when it came up of, well, that's significantly higher than what we had anticipated originally, but the Tunnel Mill couldn't handle it.
So I have some questions. You
Sure.
said that there was an agreement with the previous administration. Do you have a copy of that agreement with you?
No, it was just between us, Bob, and Tony when we were having our initial meetings.
So there was never a penned agreement or a
No.
documentation?
We have a letter.
Just a letter from Bob.
Yeah. That's about
Do
it.
you have a copy of that letter?
Yeah, I did.
I have one, you know.
So we would get a copy of that letter for our record?
And I brought the plat too, because I think, Nathan, you said you hadn't seen it, so I brought that too, so y'all can have it as well. It shows, I will say, right now, it does show,
If you could give, Heather will make a copy of that letter, if you don't mind. so
Sure.
that if you'll make enough copies for the board and for Donna.
Sorry.
And for Matt, please.
right in this section here, this is the next section that'll be coming up, where they're actually adding more lots. And then, since it's set up as a PUD, the intention was 30, 40, 50, step up to 60, 70, 80.
Mhm.
The 50 seems to be a good, what people are looking for. So we may change that to the 50, which is gonna add from 326 to potentially 350
Is there
lots.
still an intention to do commercial on the front?
Absolutely,
Do you
yes.
have any leads on that yet?
No specific leads, but we'll be seeing something either sale or coming up in that area, probably in the next, by some mid-year next year.
Okay, so the request that you're asking is to be, I wanna make sure, are you asking to be reimbursed for the $764,000 for the cost of the lift station?
Up to,
Okay.
that was the.
And you're also requesting that the tap fees for these homes come to you, not to the city?
I think traditionally.
That would be the reimbursement.
I don't mean to interrupt, but yeah, I think, from what I've read, traditionally, there's usually an agreement worked out on the tap fees, maybe not the total tap fee.
You said from what you've read, is there a current developer in the city that you can point to that we have an agreement with this like this, that gives you the idea that we have done this, or that this is our practice?
I don't have one, I don't know of one right now that's going on. I have read of some in the past. I know there was one, that there was some friction over about 20 years ago, but from what I understand, the principles on that one kind of came in after the fact and kind of didn't quite do things the right way.
That was in Danbury Oaks.
And they were, I believe, from what I read about that one, they were requesting, actually, I think they tried to sue the city to get money on the back end, and that's not what we want to do. We want to continue on with transparency on the front end and try and strike some kind of agreement, do it the right way. and kind of stick to the plan, or what we thought was the plan, going into it from the beginning. But no, we do not want reimbursed for the lift station
You
per
just want
se.
all the tap-in fees to come here.
But if,
For a certain amount of time.
but for a certain, usually these things, from what I've read, usually these have a limit, a time frame limit, usually 10 to 15 years. And we would get the tap fees during that time. Of course, the city makes the money off the sewer bills, obviously, but, and from what I've read, it's not always the full tap fee. It's whatever the municipality wants to agree to.
So let me ask a question. Reading this letter, the last sentence says, "We did annex the property in, but was not in office when they broke ground." When did Mr. Hall provide you with this letter?
Oh, that was just recently.
Okay, so this wasn't something that was written, this is not a letter you had when you built the property, or when you bought the property, or when you designed the PUD, or when you did the annexation. This was not written in the.
That letter was not, no.
Okay.
But it is annexed property.
We did annex as we required, yes.
Just to clarify, I know the letter does make reference to the sewer tap fee reimbursement agreement. That was never entered into with the city though.
There's no written agreement, I think is what he's asking.
Yeah, no
There's
written
no written
agreement.
agreement.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
right.
I believe at the time, there wasn't, I think that we had to get a little further into it before we could start working out some of those agreements.
Yeah, at that
and
point in time, we were
arrangements.
working on the whole infrastructure.
When, did you ever at any time, I mean, when you were going through the annexation process, or when you were submitting this design through the plan commission, or when it was approved by the city council, do you recall a time that this was ever requested, or that would be documented in the minutes of any of those meetings? Was this explicitly asked for at any of those times?
I can't answer that, but I could go back and check and take a look and see. Land design and development is the engineer that we had, and he was, Chad was working with us because we thought maybe we would have to, we weren't absolutely certain, that we would maybe have to maintain the lift station in it by collecting the taps, and then at which point we would turn over to the city at a certain point in time when that time period was over. So that would be the only one I know right now, and I don't know that Chad had it in his notes with the engineers, but he was speaking with the current engineers at that time for the sewer system about that. So I can look it up and see what we have there.
Well, we can search our own minutes. I
I was
mean,
gonna-
we have the capability of doing that. I just didn't know if you knew right off the bat, if they would make it easier on us and if you remember it.
It was 2018, 2019, so it's hard to remember back that
Yes.
far. I was gonna say, do you guys have?
I mean, I
minutes that
remember, I
far
was
back?
at every meeting.
Yeah, I remember,
Even though I
yeah.
wasn't there, so I mean, I do remember the process, but,
Right.
I just didn't recall if it might have been mentioned. And we can search, we have a way to search the minutes, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
So
Um,
what are the current tap fees for residential?
3,100 per home,
At the time, they were not that much.
2,100 per home. It was what, at the time that they started this, but currently they're 30, if we were collecting today, we'd be collecting $3,100 per home.
Right.
So the way that our system works, I mean, we will have to take this under advisement. Obviously, we can't give you a decision today. We will need our legal to
Right.
review this and talk to Donna and staff and kind of have internal conversations with Tim Crawford as well. But I will tell you that personally, I don't know, because our process here, the tap-in fees are for the entire collection system. We have an ordinance that's written that separates, we charge those capacity fees for the capacity of the system. It's not just for the neighborhood, and it's not just for the lift station that's in that neighborhood. We collect those fees as a way of upgrading and maintaining the entire collection system throughout the entire city, including making sure that we have capacity at the wastewater treatment plant and that capacity grows. So we take those fees and they go into a reserve fund that we use only for those purposes.
Gotcha.
The rate fees are our operations costs. So the way that our ordinance is written, the rates that we collect monthly from customers are paid for all of the daily operations of the plant.
I'm sure,
Yes.
So that's why the two are separated. But there's only one system, one lift station there's only one lift station that is in the city, that is connected to the city, that is not maintained and owned by the city, and that is out, correct me if I'm wrong, that is the one out at River Crossing. They connect to the city, but they maintain their own lift station.
That is correct.
We collect the fees, but we've never, we don't do any maintenance on that lift station at all. We're not out any cost for that, so you know, it's a form of thing. The last one, the other one that was like that, was at the Housing Authority, and we worked out a written agreement with them a few years ago whereby, they still pay for upgrades, to that system. So, we will need to take this under advisement with legal and look back through minutes and notes, but with this not being an existing written agreement that we can turn to, what you're asking for is new consideration of a subdivision that's already started that is outside the standard of the way that we typically develop in the city. So,
And it kind of, as far as just saying, we get the taps and then you all get the sewer, it's similar to what the agreement we have with Indian American Water, where we put all the infrastructure in for them and we turn it over to them, which they essentially get a gift of what we have put in for them.
I can tell you.
Reimbursement.
I can tell you that in the case of sewer, it's not a gift. Those tap-in fees are critical in a growing community to make sure that we can stay ahead of our needs and our plan and not have to do rate increases down the way to make our customers pay for those and upgrades to the collection system in the plant. So it all goes hand in hand together. But we will certainly take this under advisement and we'll get a legal opinion. We'll look up that Indiana code and reach that, and then we will be back in touch with you. I assume that Tim has your contact information that we can get, and make sure we get in touch with you. Okay?
Perfect.
One more quick question. You had said that there is another one within the city limits where they run their own lift station. You may not be able to really elaborate on
That's
that.
something we consider.
But we had considered that. How does that?
Well,
how does that work?
it's a different facility because it's its own facility. It's the nursing home. So they're not building homes. It's a nursing home. So when they came in, they paid their tap fees. And I don't know, that was done way before me. I think that's been there for a long time. But they manage their own lift station. They do all the maintenance. But we still collect revenue from the nursing home, don't we?
Yes,
Yeah, so we get the rate fees from it. But it's all built at one time and all came online at one time. This is not like building a single family home community. It's an entirely different situation. So, the other one that was providing service for multiple units was a different affair, and the city took it over years ago as well. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
yep. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have a good day.
If there's nothing else before the board, Matt, you'll kind of look into that code and we can converse through email.
Yeah, I can, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
So that property has been annexed in the city, right?
Yes, it was annexed in 2019. So the property was annexed in 2019.
Okay.
I mean, they went through all of the proper planning and zoning,
Sure.
you know, to get the plat and all that, you know.
Just wanted to make sure I understood.
Yes, it is in the city limits.
Yeah, because Charity called me and asked why I told her that she needed to come to sewer.
Yep, yep,
So that's why
yep.
they're here today.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if there's nothing else, we just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that
All right,
Second.
Grayson, Nathan makes the second. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
All right, we are adjourned.
You don't want that. I have that. You
Yeah.
want it?
I don't need it.